Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at MMTLP and the only way to resolution. We're also going to be looking at ticker symbol CRWD, CrowdStrike, and looking at the question, is it a buy based on what's happened in terms of the news with regards to it recently. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here from Bloomberg, we can see right now in terms of the markets, the dip buyers are wading in and driving in the Wall Street gains. US stocks are rebounding after having probably one of the worst weeks for a long time, and we can see here worst week since April. So from Yahoo Finance we can see overall the stock market is higher and the Nasdaq is leading a positive route. So if we have a look at the heat map, we can see significant green, especially in the tech sector, which was hit, and we can see Nvidia's up quite nicely, Microsoft, Avgo, AMD, Apple, Google, Meta, and also Amazon. And positive news in terms of Tesla as well. So Tesla is doing well today, and Elon Musk has stated that Tesla will have useful humanoid robots in low production for the company's internal use by next year, so 2025, and hopefully high production for other companies in 2026. So this is great news, driving up Tesla and the overall market as well today. So I'm going to start by sharing a post in reaction to the previous video, and what Gregory has stated here is that tagging in Pete Sessions and James Comer, he stated is aka the backstabbers. Judas, did you read the RICO lawsuit against your pocket stuffing buddies? Ari, the SEC, FINRA, and also would add GTS on there, and it's never too late to do the right thing for once. So we will have to wait and see. And what Calvin has also posted, tagging in Ralph Norman, is stated, have you seen Representative Nancy Mace questioning Cheeto for her failure in terms of the protection of Trump? And what she's also stated, this is how you should have done with Gary Gensler, and I will second that about MMTLP. Instead, you chose to stab the investors or the retail investors in the back for cash, because obviously we have evidence of donation from Hilltop Investing to Ralph Norman, and that obviously creates a potential conflict of interest which he has not yet addressed. So obviously the allegation is here, you are corrupted as hell and a liar, and how can anyone trust you? And I think what Curtis is also realizing here is that he was previously naive to think that we were only battling against greed. We're actually fighting far more than greed and potentially pure evil that it is that we are fighting. The next thing I want to share with you is a profile of another member of the UPC U3 Halt Committee of FINRA, and we can see here the member that we're going to look at now is Mr. Joseph Iraqi. So shout out here to Rare DD, who has posted a profile of Joseph Iraqi, and his profile is he is the Managing Director Exposure Management for Online Investing at JP Morgan, and he's also the former Chief Risk Officer for Robinhood Market. So again, potential conflicts of interest there with his link to Robinhood, and for TD Ameritrade regulated entities, and also potential conflicts of interest there for TDA as well if there are any additional links. So the post here also goes on to state, I wonder if he knew about his potential role in U3 halting MMTLP, resulting in lives being cut short, marriages, relationships being destroyed, potential suicides, and did Joe himself, this is a question, benefit financially in some way from the U3 halt, or was he just there to protect his friends from sustaining losses? No hard feelings. And obviously apparently he also has a restaurant that is a successful restaurant in Manchester, Vermont. So if anybody is in Manchester, Vermont, go ahead and check out his restaurant and give us some feedback on that. We can see here in terms of the UPC committee, bottom left, Joseph Iraqi is describing himself as the Vice President of Enterprise and Risk Management, and also stating here he he looks at internal audit at Robinhood with 15 years experience. And the other thing we're now going to do is give a shout out here to Michael, who's talking about the only way that we could potentially get resolution, and that is resolution for MMTLP through Greg McCabe and NextBridge Hydrocarbons. Let's see what this week has to offer, because ultimately Greg has the most shares. Greg is the key voice of the company, and Greg is also the person who's in touch with Congress, is also in touch with FINRA and the SEC behind the scenes. But I think as investors, what we are waiting for is some more updates from the company, and hopefully these will be forthcoming. Finally, I'm going to finish up by having a look at ticker symbol CRWD, also known as CrowdStrike, and looking at the question, is it currently a buy? So in terms of a reminder of its overall profile, this is a company that's mission is to stop breaches with cloud delivered endpoint and workload protection. So again, quite ironic there in terms of the huge breach that we did have. In terms of its competitive advantage, it uses a Falcon platform, uses advanced AI technologies, offers real-time threat prevention, detection and response, making it highly effective and scalable. However, unfortunately, the huge news happened next week has certainly damaged it quite significantly. In terms of the company, it is a leader in cloud delivered endpoint and workload protection, and it's also an AI security delivered platform. But let's move straight on to have a look at the chart. We know at one point it was up close to 90% on the year. It is still dropping, and I think right now it's getting closer to $260. So if we have a look at the chart and the trend lines, it has broken significant support. As far as I'm concerned, I think at one point it was heading very close to $400, and I think right now, as far as I'm concerned, I am potentially looking at going into CrowdStrike if it goes below $250. So certainly many eyes are on this, but let's have a comparison of this compared with other cyber security companies in billions, and we can see after PanW, we can see the market cap of Crowd, which is approximately 83.5 billion, is the second highest in terms of cybersecurity companies. So huge size there. But let's now have a look at the tweet from the company, and they are stating here, in terms of their post, they continue to focus on restoring all systems as soon as possible, and they're looking at approximately 8.5 million Windows devices that were impacted. And finally, at the bottom, they're saying they're continuing to provide updates as information becomes available and new fixes are deployed. So we will stay tuned on that. And let's finally get the latest news from CNBC. And we can see overall the shares are still tumbling. I think they're down in the aftermarket post-market today as the fallout from global tech outage continues. However, most of the other tech stocks are doing well. And from Guggenheim Securities, they have now downgraded CrowdStrike. However, I think if they have had an impact that we've seen across the world, it goes to show how powerful and prominent this company are. So certainly not one to be ignored. And finally, if you would like to get a copy of our weekly watch list as well as due diligence of stocks that we are looking at, and join us in live trading in the Discord, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.